I moved to a different place because I can get lots of water here. Nice, cool ice water. Well, yes, I did call you, Mrs.
すいません、お待たせしました。彩りサラダ。はい、以上でよろしいですか？ありがとうございます。お待ちくださいませ。
Well, oh, I'm the geek coming back. There could be a typhoon coming. I think this place used to be open real all night. Not anymore. If you drank 10 pints of beer, you'd probably survive, especially if you were used to beer. But if you drank 10 pints of water, it would probably kill you. Oh.
お待たせしました。彩りサラダでございます。
Is this from yesterday? Probably. Why? Maybe because I'm addicted or lonely or looking for love. Why do you ask? Certainly not for making fucking money. I talk, discuss many topics, give advice. Are you saying are you saying I'm not interested? Oh, some people find me interesting. Funny, knowledgeable. Sometimes people send me money. Sometimes I sell shirts. Have you got any helpful advice, Joshua? Why do I stream, he asked. Because sometimes people need to talk, and I talk to them, they talk to me. Joshua didn't have any advice. Anyone else there? That's a good question. Not enough. When I was working on Uber, I was working up to 15 hours a day. I think what it is, Zelda, I can make money in just a few hours, and then I veer off and do something else. And sometimes I avoid doing things until I really got to do them. But you know, like, because the price of wire has increased and steel, it just takes I might work all day. Let's say it's 7-8 hours. Start at 8 or 9 and finish dropping off about 5:30. And maybe if the economy's picked up, I've got a new. I used to go to this place, and one of the guys that worked there pissed me off, so I stopped going there. And but I returned there recently, and there was rich pickings. So yeah, so usually you know, if I've had a full day, I'll come back to my town about 6:30. But I could work more hours per day. A good question. But well, no, you can only work those hours if you're getting the right remuneration. Like, this is why I hate people like Jack Ma and Jeff Bezos. They expect people to work until they drop with no fucking extra benefit, just so they can fucking brown nose to the boss. You know, they're saying that you should be working like fucking 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Fuck you, you Chinese cunt. That was Jack Ma's. You only work like that if you're working for yourself, if it's your business. You can't expect people to work like that if it's not their business. And if people do, yesterday, for example, I saw this young girl. I think I've seen her before. Maybe she was working for Gusto. And I saw this girl. I just bought a bento and a beer. And I saw this young girl. She was running backwards and forwards. She got a uniform on for Gusto, for Appita, and she's running backwards and forwards with these baskets. As I'm walking out, I said to her, "There's no need to run like that. There's no need to work like that. Just work normally." But she was a new starter, so she was trying to impress her bosses or the fucking next up the fucking chain of command. And she could, but apart from that, she could hurt herself. She could also hurt a customer. And if she runs into someone, she's going to get the blame, because the staff will say, "We didn't tell her to do that." So I said, "Relax, do your job normally." Poor girl. Like, so when I worked for Uber, I was working from getting into town for 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting home for like 12:30 at night. And then I did that for 1 month. But like I said, I got $4,500, so that was good. Then I got fired. Talk about laugh. Yesterday, when I went into Gusto about 6:30. There was an Uber driver outside, and I talked to him, and he said, and it's the first time I'd seen him actually. And he says, yes, but he works all over the place, and he says he's very busy, even in Iwakura. What work do you do, Zeldira? You might have said before, but I've forgotten it. I was just in Max talking to Geek. Oh, we need you in England apparently. Do you work for a company or self-employed? There was someone on, I don't know if it's Facebook, but it was a woman and talking about her husband. He needs a self-employed driver with one of those massive rigs. You know, and the maintenance of those things is just so expensive. I've always got, the really big rigs. I've got admiration for those drivers. How many hours does part-time entail? Because like in England, for example, part-time is like 4 hours a day or something like that. In Japan, part-time is like 37.5 hours a week, 40 hours a week. But is that 6 to 10 hours or 6 o'clock while 10 o'clock? Because 10 hours is not really part-time, is it? Fuck man, that's not part-time, man. Certainly not in England. That's fucking... 10 hours, what's gamer? Wish I was a gamer and making money. Can you imagine all those? I don't know, it's very rare, but sometimes when those gamers get very good and then they earn like fucking millions of dollars. So apparently in England they need 50,000 truck drivers. Because the pandemic, so they had this fucking app and then it went crazy and it was telling everybody that they had to isolate. And so 50,000 truck drivers did. And so now the army is stepping in. I'm feeling a bit tired. I was going to do some work at the warehouse. I might go back. I did sleep well last night. And I don't know if it was because of the typhoon or what, but I'm not even sure if it's a public holiday today. I thought it was, then according to my calendar on the phone, it was tomorrow's the public holiday, so I'm not sure. I thought it was this Monday and this Friday. I'm gonna ask the waitress if it's a bank holiday. Sumimasen けど、今日は銀行の休み。
あ、銀行休み。
今日、明日じゃない。
今日祝日だから。
今日何の日？
今日はね、今日何の日だっけ？山の日。
え？
山の日。
山の日。OK。金曜日もお休み。
金曜日？今度？
うん。これちょっとカレンダーありましたけど、でもこのカレンダーによるとは明日は休み。でも先週見たら、どこか見たら、月曜日と金曜日と思った。
変わったんですよ。
あ、そう。
オリンピックがあれ
でも今日は休み。
今日は休み。
間違いない。
うん、間違いない。でも ATM は空いてますよ。
あ、OK。OK、ありがとう。
はい。
So we sorted that out. Today is indeed a bank holiday. Sometimes you can tell, you know, when there's less traffic. They do say that ice water is not good for you, but it fucking tastes a lot better than room temperature water. Did you see that cunt yesterday in the Olympics? Towards the end of the race, he knocked all the water off the bench. He had his table set up, and the cunt from France knocked all the bottles of water off, and people are trying to defend him. It was just a selfish cunt. All right, Tampa. Terry. Yeah. Am I into Japanese girls? Yeah, they've been on my mind recently, yeah, without a doubt. But as I am an unstable character, it's not. And my house is a dump. It's not on. I've got to wait until I win the lottery. Then I've said, let's go to this hotel, babe. Maybe I should actually go and visit her. I think I've got enough spare money now to go and pay a visit to a soapland. I did a video about a soapland a few years ago, and I was moving this American guy, an American teacher. And the video's up, and so what he did, because this soapland near his house said no gaijin. So what he did, he said, well, I'm going back to America now, is it okay? And so they let him in. So they let him in, and he got bathed, and then he had sex with the worker. And then about a week later, the owner of the the owner of the soapland, because he'd lied about going back to America, so the owner of the soapland goes, hey! Which I thought was very funny. The Japanese girl, you know, they're just so fucking elegant, you know. This is not every Japanese girl, but quite a lot of them. They dress grey, their hair's grey, they're slim, they're stylish. They're just spot on, you know. They're definitely very attractive. But like I said, not all foreign guys like. Oh, this is what I had a mate, but he was saying he didn't like Japanese girls, but that could have been for his fucking girlfriend's ears. I don't know. So yesterday. It's true, by the way. Yeah, let's check it out. Look for Soapland, American Boys Soapland or something like that. And so yesterday I met my daughter. Or was it the day before? No, on Saturday. So I met my daughter, we had a nice lunch, and then I decided to stay in town. And on the streets of Nagoya, there used to be this company, like fucking getting people to go to people's restaurants, and they would take a cut of the fucking deal. But it ended up, it's the right rip. We did it once, it was the right rip-off. And I always used to tell people not to do it. So I see these fucking dodgy looking guys. And so I could go and sit outside at the hub, having a drink. And these two girls come stand next to me. They're looking at the board at the hub, you know, they're looking at the drinks and food, things like that. And I'm not really talking to them, maybe I just smile at them or something like that. Then this Japanese guy, which is like, as I'm here now, he's 2 tables away. And he says to the girls, if you come in, I'll buy you a drink. And I think he intimated like sitting next to me. And so he bought them a drink. And then he didn't sit with us, and they sat next to me, so I was talking to these 2 girls. One was a popcorn franchisee, and the other one worked at the hospital. And so, but then this guy, so one of these guys that were selling, one of these punters who goes around fucking trying to get, he came up to this guy and he said something to him, and I don't know what it was, and this guy apologized to him. So he seemed to be saying, you're fucking taking our customers or whatever, and this guy apologized. But all he did was take their number. These 2 girls, the guy that bought them the drinks took their number. And I saw, after this guy went, I just said, you know, this looks very fucking dodgy, this. You know, it looks very strange. So I said, if I was you, I wouldn't like, you know, get back in touch with this guy. So he was trying to fucking, you know, set them up for something. You can't, so now in at the hub, you can't talk to anyone. So if you don't come in with that person, you cannot talk to another person. So you can't chat anyone up. You can't walk to someone's table and start talking to them. You can't do that. So when these 2 girls sat down next to me, when the manager came out, she just says, "Oh, we know him." So apparently, if you know someone, that stops the virus from spreading. Right, today I'm going to try and no drinks today. I'll say that again. I'm trying to improve my health and condition before I get the jab. So what they say, over 10,000 people. A lot of people come to England from the Middle East or Africa because they give ridiculous benefits to these people. They give them housing, they give them money, and they help them with work. And so they're saying that a lot of people from this accommodation, they've like absconded. Obviously because they're lying about being refugees or wanting sanctuary. But the scary thing about this, what if they're not? What if they're like Taliban, something like that, which are doing, Taliban are doing quite well in Afghanistan at the moment. What, fucking 9 years of wasted money gone into that by the Americans. And now they just... So now all these people that have absconded, so I can only guess that they've got like contacts for jobs. Have I seen him? I just saw a video, he's doing some bench pressing. Why, what's that, something happened? I think I spoke to him about a week ago. The Wi-Fi seems to be playing up a little bit stranger than usual today. Okay, 10 years ago, and are you watching my videos regularly? But I think that the majority of Victor's viewers don't watch my videos or even like me. Oh, okay. Well, you're not missing much. Did anyone follow my recommendation to watch the big black guy from America, the Real Spark? Fucking really funny. So last time I saw he made a video about the brouhaha on a Frontier Airlines flight, and he hijacked the thing and to make it look as though he was the actual steward, but he had well, the other day he had 4 million views, but he's a really funny guy. It does the sound effects really well. Maybe I should make another video with Victor. I was in one of Victor's videos, I was holding the camera when he was doing the ASMR haircutting thing. And everybody just complained about me. I think I've just figured out why. I've just figured out why the Wi-Fi's. I'm guessing it's that it's the really strong winds. But it doesn't usually. Okay. I've just heard from Jason, as Australian friend of this channel, and he's doing a lot better, so that's good to hear. Well, good to hear that, Jason. I don't know if you're watching now, pal, but it's good to hear that. He had the Delta variant. And we said it was very, very painful. So be careful not to get that. But now he says he's on the mend, so good news. So I never checked where this typhoon was. This morning I had to batten down the hatches on a very noisy, I don't know, plastic. Oh, bloody hell. Oh. Right guys, if no one's chatting, forever hold your peace. Then I'll go and get some work done. Or go home and have a sleep. Either one is very possible. Yeah, it is Sheffield, yes. In fact, my best mate at one time from Sheffield was called Stevie Mac. Mac Vicker. Oh, it was Steve Vickers, that was it. Yeah, if something's taking a long time to do, yeah. Patience is a virgin. Oh, you're in Liverpool, okay. What's it like in Liverpool? Are the shelves in Liverpool empty? Yeah, so always, like they say, it's always easier once you've got the right tools. You've got any sandpaper? Yeah, I've got this. There was this guy on fucking Facebook complaining about Brexit. Can you go to a 100 yen shop, get a file? So are these empty shelves just being blown out all of proportion and what? Yeah, we're going to be like Russia. They're closed. That's surprised. I should have speak proper English. They're closed on a Sunday. Is it always a private shop and not a chain? Yeah, this fucking prick on Facebook is blaming Brexit for the shortage of fucking lorry drivers. But it's not like it's a fucking pandemic. But all you got is fucking crazy self-isolate. Just get in your truck, roll up, open the back door, say get your fucking food. Yeah, that was a surprise because in Germany. So what the fuck do people do? Probably planning for a war. Can't you ask a neighbour? Or don't Americans do that? Yeah, I've had that horse medicine. That horse medicine. What do you call it now? Kids, it begins with K or something. Ketamine, is it? When they're taking that as like get some kind of drugs, get high. I don't think I'll be taking any drugs back. Just alcohol. No, in Japan they all mask up. Subculture, long time. No, in Japan everyone wears the mask. Just heavily condensed areas like Tokyo, Osaka, there's a lot more of it. No, there's no mandates, it's illegal in Japan. Yeah, I remember who you are, mate. Yeah, I remember the name Subculture. We went back in the Go station, that area, for a drink, yeah? Yes, I remember you. I remember your name, mate. I remember that. Subculture. I remember the... as well as... at one point, all the restaurants were closed in the big cities, but not in the small cities. Shane told me to get in touch for a drink, and then he fucking seems to have forgot about it. So he's married now, or maybe he knew that. He's got a house too. The Aussie Chinese bastard. He didn't mention the house. His girlfriend's a nurse or something. Psychiatric nurse. Yeah, I think he's trying to get into universities now. I don't. Well, if you're teaching online, if you're doing it, like, I don't know how long these classes are, but I guess it's constant, isn't it? Though you've got to be. Where if you're teaching in a class, you can have a bit of a joke with the students or wander about and things like that. What, a podcast for teaching English? Yeah, I think a lot of them. Oh, you're talking about J-Vlog, maybe. Well, I haven't taught for a long time, but when I did teach, I enjoyed it very much. From Uganda. My Argonaut Jason? No, I've never heard of that. I've heard of My Arse Is Gonna Hurt Jason. That's his brother. I am just doing the scrap. That's it. I have been thinking of doing I'm thinking about doing bishop weddings, archbishop weddings someday in the future. Buy a proper bishop's uniform and then do gay weddings. Then charge them a fortune. No, not really. He's a bit of a twat, so... Is he still alive? He might come on the American news one day. Yeah, he did, yeah. But he has no idea about sex. You could tell from the porn video that he had no idea what it was like to be with a woman. wonder what they thought when they first brought him into the room, and the Japanese actress, what? You mean I've got to fuck him? I've been here 30 years, so it looks like it. Recent events have got me thinking of doing something else or going to a different country. I don't know yet. I had a friend that went to Albania. I don't think I'd last long in America. Yeah, there could be still a massive blowout yet in America, you know, with everyone being locked up for 1 year. Yeah, they were talking about the airlines of the unruly passengers on the airlines, and they said there's been 3,007 in the last 8 months. There's been 3,700 cases. And they've got fucking guns. Well, they're not really in lockdown though, are they, Japanese? Yeah, exactly. But I heard that more and more people were getting scared of the Delta variant, and they're starting to wear masks in any way. Yeah, it's calling stupid people and fat people. There was a guy in Britain, and he was 42 years old. He was a fitness fanatic. And you know, you would think people like that would be okay. And he was white, so he wasn't from the non-white community, which seems to have a higher number of people falling for this. And he was a very fit individual, but he still got it, and he died. So it doesn't really matter how fit you are, how strong you are. It's going to kill people of all ages, you know, and conditions. You know, because, you know, it's true to say that a lot of people that died from it were obese, old, or had underlying health conditions. Also in Japan, maybe they look after the victims better. No, but when you say misinformation, but people have been saying just put a fucking mask on. It showed you people coming out of Wembley in London a few weeks ago, you know, like thousands pouring out of the gates and no one was wearing a mask. Like, I don't wear a mask much, but if I was... But in this area, it's a lot better than other areas. You know, if there's in your area, if there's a lot of problems, wear a fucking mask. Wash your hands. Oh, really? What, it's finished now? I thought it weren't allowed out of the area. Yeah, well, no, because there's very few cases in my area. Yeah, but you can, you know, if you're walking around in the streets, you don't need a mask. But if you go into a public area, shopping or something like that, or transport, wear a mask is fucking simple. Yeah, but it's like the fucking freedom thing, isn't it? You know, when they fall for the continuous fucking bullshit from the right-wing news networks about America's got freedom. Oh, right, guys. So now I've got to decide whether to go and do some work or whether to go back home and have an hour's sleep. Like I said, I didn't sleep well last night. So. Where's this typhoon coming, subculture? Where is it? Is it coming towards Nagore or coming towards you? Yeah, freedom to make retarded decisions. Exactly. You know, there's certainly enough evidence all over the world. Oh, really? Okay. There's certainly enough evidence of all the world of all these people that didn't believe in the virus and they just ended up in hospital and dying. So. And if people are still refusing to wear masks, or let's just hope they didn't breed. Not yet. I've got the paperwork, but I haven't done it yet. I think I'm going to have a get in a bit better condition. Start doing some exercise. Stop drinking. Stop taking fatty food. Then, like I said, just be in a bit of better shape before I take it. What, did the screw lower the fret? Yeah, it's, you know, life is like that. You know, you spend a lot of time doing something, and that's the difference between knowing something and not knowing something. And that's why you ask an expert, or should have looked it up on fucking internet. Oh really? Yeah. I don't know what the percentage of people taking it in England is very high. Not sure what it is here yet. So. Yeah, when I start to learn this guitar I've got, I might get in touch to. Alright guys, been good chatting, been a good chat this morning. I'll see you next time. Oh, is that right? Well, it doesn't matter 'cause I'm foreign. That's a fair point, that, isn't it? Yeah, about the strong Japanese, the weak Japanese and the strong medicine. See you later, guys. Bye.